So yeah, this is episode 3 of chapter 2, D&D Galactic. We've got some shit to do tonight. So there was a time where I had intro paragraphs that I wrote, and then I realized how boring that probably was. So you motherfuckers, what do you remember from last time? Let's go that way.
We went on a shopping spree that was
happened.
quite varied.
That happened.
We were assigned a mission from Eshka, where we will be helping Delilah Gorse with an item retrieval at the antiquity store.
Somebody took notes.
I am the most dapper dragon in the district.
By
What's your last name?
Dan. It's Dan.
I am the only one who did not buy clothing.
So now that actually has me a little curious. What is Haran wearing?
Oh,
He's naked.
pants, well-used leather pants, a white, a dirty white shirt, overalls, leather apron.
Perfect. He
And
looks
then
like
armor.
he's just living in a blacksmith shop forever.
Yes.
That seems about right. Okay. So, yeah, that happened.
What is fashion?
We're also forgetting the whole part where Tatsu made a very, very dear friend. Does that happen?
True that. True that.
Go out with drinking with Alton, get in a fight with a sweeper bot, and lose. That about sums that part up.
There's...
It's the beginning of my villain arc.
Yeah, that could be a whole thing. So,
Oh no.
Instead of just like dilly-dallying and doing a whole bunch of introductory shit, at this point everyone knows who everyone is. So let's just kind of pick up back where we left off. You guys were on. Well, you had just received your mission, and I assume, probably incorrectly, that there was any kind of prep that needed to be done before leaving, or are you guys just heading out?
Someone was looking at blueprints on the place, right?
I got entire blueprints on it.
On the location of the shop?
Yes.
That's right. A shop called Antiquity.
Antiquity.
And
MapQuest.
Basically, straight up coordinates. And it's in a portion of Crucifix City that is... I have since come up with the name of the place since last time, called the Ankaran Quarter. So it's not like there's real bad parts of town, there's real nice parts of town, and then there's those places in the middle. That's where this is. So that's where we left off. Assuming you all are in the same room.
I'm checking my character sheet.
Uh-oh. Should I be concerned?
Builder's heading out immediately.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be going.
Builders already go.
Already gone. Well, let's say that if you're doing stuff on computers and things, you guys are doing it on the way in. Because I have this fancy thing that's left over from last round.
Sci-fi.
Ah, yes. Portable computers are a thing in this world, this universe.
Yep. Sci-fi, right?
We're absolutely doing research on the go.
Yeah.
Takes out an old Tandy from 1989.
It's just got like the old, like, the Matrix phone that like snaps over.
20 pounds of laptop. Probably irradiated your junk.
I remember those days. Oof. Oh.
Y'all are dating yourselves.
I took one of those to college. So, you're all
Terrible.
en route. Train's not really packed. There's, like, you, which take up a good chunk of a car. There's like one or two people on the far other end. Business suits just looking at phones. This is the kind of town that there's enough rain, like Seattle-esque, that it always seems like it's a little dark even in the day. But the lights down here are more bright than the lights up top. Just one of the features of this place being a planet that was basically terraformed into existence.
You said there were guys in suits?
There's like two people who are like not next to each other in suits, like on the other side, just like staring down, looking at like a phone.
They look like businessmen? Business people?
They
look like two goblins in a suit.
So we're gonna do this. Go ahead and roll.
Everyone's a goblin if you believe hard enough.
I hate everything about this. Roll me a perception check. See what we get. See what we get.
Okay.
Roll a 15 plus stuff. 19 for builder. 18. So you get looks like there's a lot of perception checks just to scope out these dudes. You got like a skinny elf in like full suit, tie, nothing really discernible, nothing interesting. Short hair, definitely like business corpo look, and a human. They're both male, not looking like they're around each other. Although the elf does like look up and notice there's like 6 adventurers that are like staring at them and just kind of like, and then turns his back like on you to like, keep it from being awkward.
Perfect time to say I would like to. Oh, there's a cat. Adorable. Where was my
There's
train?
a cat on the train. There's a snake in my boot.
My spoon is too big.
Oh, right. I was totally gonna pick the pocket of
No.
one of those business people.
No.
See if I can get some nice pocket things, like a pen or a watch.
I have a question, DM.
Okay.
I have a passive perception here.
Uh-huh.
I just would like to see if he
pretty
notices.
much everybody sees Alton. Everybody in this group sees Alton stalk forward with malicious intent.
Can I grab him by the scruff of his shirt and just stop him?
I can't tell you no.
I tell myself yes.
I can contest that.
Can you though?
Oh, he
Probably
can.
not well, but I can.
Okay. Rolls then. Whatever. At that point, it's grapple check, so that's just opposed
Also
strength
great
checks.
start.
It's just opposed
Yeah.
strength checks.
So athletics or actual
Nope,
strength?
opposed strength checks.
Okay.
So
Oh,
the
five.
strength stat.
Oh.
So here's what happens with a tie. The elf guy kind of turned his back because he doesn't want to deal with it. The human looks up and he sees basically Alden and Tatsu going like like full anime style, and he just like stares and like he has a little shitty flip phone and like flips it open, and there's probably a camera pointed towards you. God damn it, Matt.
I have the internet at my fingertips. I'm sorry.
It's no,
It's how I
no,
was raised.
it's fine.
I'm changing the color of my dice again. This isn't working.
I mean, he did good. He rolled a
19, but
rolled a
my
19
strength.
is -1. He just rolled good. It's not your dice's fault, it's his dice.
Yeah.
All right, so that plan has gone out the window. Do I notice the guy looking at?
I hate everything.
Yes.
Dalton breaks free.
All of your good.
So all breaks free and
roll.
starts rushing at one of the guys.
That is okay. At this point,
I mean, we were
Okay.
joking about it before, but are you sure you're not a goblin? I mean, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not a goblin.
at some point, if you want to have the great reveal that you are a goblin the whole time, I'll mess with your sheet.
That's tempting, but I want to stay the halfling.
You want luck.
Yeah, yeah, I really do.
If you just keep up, you're going to need it.
So, at this point, do I see the guy just recording?
He's got a camera pointed at you. Yeah. You don't know if he's recording. It's a little shitty, like, flip looking. Because phones in this setting can be literally sort of anything. They can look like modern cell phones or older cell phones or whatever. They can be like wrist computers. They can be just like earpieces with holographic scouter looking things. They can be literally anything. So
He's just built into a contact lens.
actually, do me a favor and let me scroll back here. You, way back when we started this, gave me an 18 perception check. With that, I will also allow you to see that in each car there is a big, boxy security camera.
Alton rethinks his plan a little bit here.
Your call. I mean, there's ways to get around everything. You got a can of spray paint and you could be gold. But it is your call. What you want to do.
Alton just looks at the guy who's pointing the flip phone camera at him, and he's like, "What do you want?"
Are you the guys on TV? Can I get your autograph?
Oh yeah, sure. 1 copper.
No,
Oh, good lord.
I'm
Just
kidding.
sign the
I'm
man's
kidding.
paper.
Yeah, you got a pen and paper?
You know what? And like the elf watches the human get up when he gives one of like these looks when he looks back to his phone. But literally this human dude in a business suit suddenly starts moving like one of those guys that isn't in a business suit and like puts his back to you guys and like shoots out for like a selfie with all of you behind and takes a shot real quick.
My
Like,
hand goes up.
Some of you
in
are
front of
prepared
my
for it, some of you are not.
Yep, not doing it.
Alton just does the finger guns, the fawns.
The fans. And he
But he
just kind of
poses
smiles.
charmingly.
what?
Knee-jerk reaction. And then he just kind of like says thanks and like goes back over to his seat.
I don't understand what that was.
That was publicity at its
I'm sorry,
finest.
what?
Yeah, we're getting famous. People want to, take pictures of us and get our autographs, and it helps to be a little famous and because you can get
No,
better
no.
requests.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, it does, just not in the ways you might want it to.
Well, it prevents us from being able to do any sneak jobs.
Nah. Trust me when I tell you it doesn't do as much as you think for our stealth. If we really want to hide, we can hide.
I'm not sure you understand what famous means.
No, I do. You just have to know how to manipulate your appearance to hide from the crowds.
Well, I point to Tatsumasa and Builder, and I go,
Oh, you could. I'm sure there's something somewhere that can make you guys blend in easily. some
Let
sort
me
of hologram.
rephrase. I don't blend.
Maybe a can of spray paint and a little bit of rusties, and you'd be good as gold to hide from the crowds.
Just offer him the robot Rusties.
Fee,
I don't know where I.
Fee reaches across whatever distance and just gives him like a smack on the shoulder. Like, are you kidding me?
This is beautiful.
Well, you know, it's either that or we rust him up, and I don't think he wants that.
As
Or
Maybe we should get you still.
Can't rust me, but aside from that, I don't want to blend. I want to be seen, but not in this way.
we can be famous when we're older and don't need to do jobs.
How much older do I need to get?
5, 10 tops.
When you're almost ready to stop being adventurers, I don't. That's when we can be. That's when you can be famous because it doesn't matter.
Notice how Alton never gave a time frame, just said 5, 10 tops.
there's like a little as you guys are bickering good-naturedly, there's like a little tone from the speakers above, and you hear next stop Ankaran District. Next stop Ankaran District, which is your stop.
Ooh, that's for us.
So you're not there, but you're getting there.
That's not for us. That's for everybody on the train.
No, I meant that's where we're going next, not that message being specifically for us.
You said it was for us. It's not. It's just a general announcement for everybody on the train.
It'll just keep going on if we let it, won't it?
Yeah, probably. Probably. I wasn't being so literal, Haran. More just saying that's where we're getting off the train.
Yeah, that is where we're getting.
You're
off
getting off on the train?
I'm getting off of the train. I don't know
Me?
I don't know what Alton's
All
gonna
due
do.
With all due respect, Fee, I could be under different circumstances.
Oh, so you're that kind of passenger on the train.
Oh. Well,
I prefer intimacy and privacy.
Well, you were almost a thief a little bit ago. Far cry from being a pirate.
So much for privacy, eh?
Haran, I do not know that of which you speak of.
Oh, you mean you were going to go try and mug that guy?
What do you mean mug? Who's going to try and mug anyone?
The guy he was going to go.
That guy is totally not paying attention at all. It is clearly he is like poking at his communication device, clearly posting whatever he just took on pictures.
I wasn't going to mug anyone. Please. That just reduces me to a common criminal.
I mean, yeah.
Like most of your friends.
My friends are not common criminals. They are practiced thieves. There's a difference.
Anybody sitting near feet can hear her eyes click as they roll back so hard.
Builders' eyes physically
opportunity.
click as they roll back so hard.
The difference is opportunity.
This is very much just an anime situation where Tatsu, Haran, and Alton are sitting there like arguing the philosophical quandaries of what thievery is, and just fucking Fee Builder and Yasada are just sitting there like this, just like
the
cheesy form with like the waves coming off the top of the head, just.
They're the disappointed parents, uncles, aunts, whatever familial affiliation that gives the most disappointment at this point. Maybe even grandparents, I don't know.
Seems accurate.
I've seen the birth and death of stars, and this is It's really gonna take up some space in my memory.
Is that a good bit? Good, bad, or indifferent thing?
It's bad. It's bad.
I really hope that I get the ability to delete things soon.
Do you have one of those
Partition.
updates the file buttons?
Sure, we could find a way to do that. All we need is a good bit of electricity wired directly into your brain. It'll clear everything.
And on that wonderful...
Can I jolt electricity into your brain and see what happens?
On that wonderful... The horn goes off and you guys... the train comes to a stop. And as the conversation continues, you find yourselves in a little bit of a harsher portion of the city than you might be used to. Is my stuff working the way it's supposed to be? It is. Good. Okay. So, you guys step out onto the train platform. Still arguing about goofy shit that doesn't matter, and swear to God, it was this close to you guys being able to see like a Warforged have a nosebleed from just hearing stupid. It was that close. And you walk out, and it is definitely a different feel than the big downtownish area that you were in before. Before you had nice wide open like streets with grass and stuff on the side, stuff that had been like artificial trees and holograms and a whole bunch of other stuff. This is much more closed in. It's much more, the buildings are much tighter. In between the buildings, there's these almost a net of vine-like wires and power cables between things. And you do note the people around you actually look a bit different too. Where in the more downtown districts you're used to, nobody's flat out like called them the prime races or anything like that, but like Dragonborn are from Dracaris, humans and halflings are from Valoris, like tieflings are from Teneron. And all of these people have come to this melting pot. Here, you're starting to see less and less of those types and more of the others that may or may not quite fit in. You notice, like, the first thing you see stepping off on the platform is there is a centaur man, like, clopping along on the side, on the cracked sidewalk. What looks like a little daughter, like a little foal, with like hooves that are way too big, and she's like just having a great time looking around. But he has this kind of serious expression on his face, and he's looking out. And you don't think you could spot like a human or an elf or a halfling for like the life of you. Just like glancing around, you see like a couple of bugbears, so like hairy goblinoid types with tusks that aren't like orcs, but if an orc had like bear fur all over them. You see a couple of similar dwarves to what you saw back at the forge, Duragar walking around. You see a couple of the people that would be considered more beast folk. You see like a Haragon, like a rabbit person, who's got like a hat on and the ears are down and the rain's still coming down. It's like trying to keep the stuff off of him. There's a few Kenku walking around. You see a big minotaur thudding around. And on this platform you get a sense of the next district over. Those of you who have been and done more research of the place probably know it as like the Thrakish district. But those of you who don't know, see like there is a wall between districts. And on the other side of this wall that you're not very far away from, there's at least a few fires burning. No tall buildings, all crumbled and whatever. And there's definitely the sound of like gunfire. Couple of hundred of feet away on the other side of the wall in the next district. And that's where you are.
That sounds familiar.
Which part? The fires, the gunfire, or all of the above?
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Since you're close enough, let me see if I can find it. Yeah. You're close enough to hear this. There's stuff going on over there.
Nope, automatic weapons. Philly. It's Philly.
To those of you who did their research before this, which is definitely at least Builder and Haran, most of the inhabitants of Thrax, so the planet most well known for orcs, they're out that way.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, known for orcs. That's what I know them for.
So,
Perhaps we should not just stand around the platform here. It does mark us as easy targets.
agreed.
How much do you think they'd take for Alton?
I am
believe
not
we'd have
for
to pay
sale.
them.
I was gonna say, I think we'd have to pay them to take him.
That's fair. I'm just fucking with you, little guy.
I am not a cheap whore. You can't just sell me out like that.
Like that,
Isn't that what
okay.
Gorko said?
But think of the profit we'd make when they tried to get us to take you back.
First
Ironically,
ransom.
I was like, ironically,
I want 30%, no less.
on the outside, you turn around, and as your train leaves you on the platform here, making you realize like, oh, we're just here now. On the outside of the train, kind of flapping in the wind, it's another poster for the upcoming concert of Gorko and the Axe Grinders. You've seen it before. You just know it by the look now. Like, oh god, they're everywhere.
Yes, they're everywhere. We're going to the concert after this.
We're not. We're going.
Okay, fine. I'll go alone. I'll have a great time. I'll get drunk and enjoy the music, like I do.
Fun.
Okay, I won't be hammered. Just
Okay,
just
Tatsu
a
starts walking towards the destination.
We leave Alton in his thoughts of what he's going to do at the concert.
That's fair.
We're gonna get drunk and have a great time and make friends, and then you're all gone.
It's just like that.
Not again.
I have absolutely no problems with this game slowly dissolving into some form of anime, and that's fine with me.
Slowly.
No, that's a very good point. So you guys start heading off. Definitely do notice that there are. I don't know if it would actually like bug anybody, but there's definitely a few of the undead sort walking around, just street clothes, same as anybody else. As you go through this throng, and there's all sorts. Like, besides like the Haragon, there's definitely like you catch like a turtle in a crowd. There's I can't pronounce this correctly. It's called like an Aarakocra, which is like
Aarakocra?
Yeah, like a big bird, like person, like shit, like head of like an eagle, wings. Definitely a lot of people that would refer to as beast folk. In the
What
zone.
kind of police presence are we seeing here?
So that That's not going to be an investigation. That's going to be a perception check.
Also, side note, last game, Fee purchased a cyberware. Alton made sure that it, not Alton, I'm sorry, Haran made sure that it worked.
Yep, it does work.
I imagine she had put that on, but I hadn't said it out loud.
Are you making it official? Do you have it on, off?
It is on.
Okay, so physically, this technically isn't cyberware. This is just like a tiny little, it's not even a magical device, it's a little technological device. You kind of like wear like an earpiece. So it's kind of like wrapped around the outside of your ear underneath, because it's like, you're an elf. You have a large ear that you can kind of hide things behind. It kind of wraps around the back of it so that when you do reach under your earlobe and activate it, there's a little shimmer over your face for a minute, and then it activates, which, if you're just looking at you in the face, nothing happens. Nobody just sees anything. But if there's electronic equipment or anything else, then we start getting into things. So, since you're looking, perception check, which is a 15. Fantastic.
I would also like to make a note of the police.
Go ahead and roll. A little less, but fine. You're still thinking about that concert, man. I'm
excited.
It's gonna be a rager. So that's enough. So far, Fee, you've paid attention to at least two different groups. The definitely scary-looking Hell Knights, which seem like they're like enforcers that, like, if you break the law, they're just gonna smash you or kill you or something. And then you've also seen the stewards that kind of wear like the blue armor, and they seem less like law enforcement. They seem more like peacekeeping, diplomacy, trying to avoid like what could be like international incidents between races and stuff.
They're trying to prevent the need for Hell Knights.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. And from your background, you know that dead on. That is not just an assumption. That is a fact. Those aren't technically law enforcement. What you see, because you do see some law enforcement. You do notably not see any stewards in this area. 0. Distinctive blue armor would stick out here. It's a very colorful district. Not a lot of people in blue armor. You do catch a cop, however. Once I can find where I put the damn... Oh, that's why. I put it in a different... put it in a different folder. Don't you love when you do that?
All the time.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, you do see something that would be the equivalent of law enforcement down here. And the short version is, it ain't friendly looking. You see something that looks like that. Looking around.
Look.
Slowly scanning.
Judge Dredd.
It's like a little bit of a mix of Judge Dredd and a RoboCop sort. Weapon is notably not in hand. But between that kind of helmet, that kind of, and the obvious handcuffs on the belt, this is a cop in power armor. Not like plate armor that you would be used to, like just nice looking plated armor. This is the kind of armor that is Iron Man style armor, augments strength. It is got a power source. Just for the fun of it, this is gonna be, I gotta figure out a good role for this. Let me open a character sheet real fast while we do that, so I remember what the fucking skills are. How much would you know? Probably, because you've dealt with law enforcement before. Alton just fucking knows this. But I would like you specifically, because you haven't been on this particular planet before with this. That's gonna be lore. What would be lore? Let's do history. You're not great at it, but let's do history.
Myself or Alton?
Anybody who wants to, actually. Alden don't care. Fee, a little bit.
Oh, I can't use that.
Some of you get things. Basically, it goes... Fee, you look at him and it's kind of scary. Haran... Honestly, you're not really focused on law enforcement very much. You had plenty of time to look shit up. That just hasn't been something that you're focused on. Tatsu, this ain't your jam, and that's okay. Like, you know what police look like when you see them. Yasana and Builder, though. You take one look at this, and you know what you're looking at. Policing in a sci-fi/cyberpunk setting ain't easy. It couldn't be. There's too much crazy cyberware and technology going on, right? And a setting with magic on top of it too, that's heavy. Yasana from research, actually Yasana and Builder from research, that visor and the badge that they wear. Per day, detect magic, dispel magic.
Interesting.
Like, this is what you've read before. You've never seen it before. Now you've seen it in real life. The CCPD officer kind of gives a look to you. You can't see anything but their nose and their mouth. And there's like a brief nod, and then they just keep walking further down a different alley.
Builder would like to. That was more of like a, hey, what's the law enforcement situation like?
Mm-hmm.
Builder would be looking at like, what are the reactions of all of the beast folk around? Are we getting noticed because we're in this area? Are people looking at us more because
That's
we look
insight.
like we don't fit in, or something else?
I'm gonna have Fee roll 2, but with the addition of how she in particular is received, because she's a drow.
Okay. Go ahead and fire off insight. Oh man, that one landed right on the edge. It was almost a 19.
That's so mean.
It is mean. So you guys are a big eclectic mix of stuff. And that's not to say that there aren't any like dwarves or humans or whatever around. You specifically see there's like a probably a little too skinny like elf lady, but unlike where you came from before, she's got like full sleeve tattoos and a green mohawk. As of now, you're standing on the platform. One or two people are look at you with a 20 insight check. Builder, you get something that you're kind of used to at this point. A few eyes pass on you, like meet your gaze. You see, without words, the expression in their eyes go, "Oh shit," and they move on.
Okay. Mainly,
Fee.
if I.
Fee, you don't really get any different reaction than you did anywhere else. Sorry, Builder, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask, does anybody look like, specifically for Builder, does anybody look at me and act like, oh, I've seen that before?
See what you're going for.
Yeah, you see where.
20 insight. The only thing that you get from anyone who meets your gaze or looks towards you is do not want fuck with.
Okay.
This is definitely a rougher end of town, and most of the gazes cast about by people are sizing each other up for one means or another, and you do not get any kind of recognition that you're looking for, at least not here.
Okay. Cool.
Damn it, Scarlet. This is what happens when I don't look at chat for long enough and get sucked into my own world. So what are you guys doing?
I'm heading to the shop, but
Proceeding towards the shop.
Moving.
Can I
Good
make
job to be done.
a stealth check to kind of try and go unnoticed towards the shop?
Are you splitting off from the
blended.
group?
No, I'm just trying to blend into the crowds
He's
a little bit.
Assassin's Creed blending.
Are you like seriously like like doing that like the blending in plain sight sort of thing?
Yes.
Are you blending in with your group, or like splitting off from the group and doing that with other people?
I'll try and keep a close eye on the group, but I'm gonna try and be blend in with other people.
Okay.
And
Well,
he was
so
never heard from again.
Nobody noticed when he got pulled
oh god,
away.
who stole the kid? Who stole the child? So I'm gonna ask you a question while you make the stealth roll that you wanted to, so you can make your stealth roll. Are you doing so ahead of the group, kind of scouting ahead, or are you falling back to keep an eye on anybody interacting with the group? So are you doing it like offensively, like going forward to like kind of pathfind a little bit, or defensively to see if like anyone's
Don't say
like
Pathfind.
yeah.
Defensively to kind of
Falling
keep
back.
an eye on. Yeah.
Okay.
While this is happening, I just want to say if he's going to pull her holy symbol out from where it's usually tucked into her clothing and just put it outside. She doesn't make a big deal of it. She's kind of like, does the thing.
Very quietly advertising.
So close to being able to use lucky.
That's right. You didn't. It wasn't a 1. Wasn't a 1. Okay. So you guys move through the Unkarn district. There's actually a point where a few people get like, so you fall back. You're not really blending. You think you're blending in just fine, but you definitely know it's a little bit off. When you do stealth shit, you generally like kind of know the district a little bit. You kind of got the feel and like the vibe of the place. You don't have it yet. You know it, but you're still back far enough to kind of see what's going on. And you aren't like a child napped or anything like that along the way.
Damn it! No, sorry.
Hey, boss, we got the kid. What are you talking about? I'm 45.
I'm sorry, guys. I forgot to attach the free candy sign on him. My bad.
I just want to see that they have like alternate has one of those like vests on that has like a leash on the chest or something like that. Keep him around.
He's got a T-shirt that says, "Ask me if I want to see your goblin."
My address is.
So as far as on the trip there's not really a lot of interactions. You guys see a few people that like make eye contact with. Haran at some point. There are one or two like Duragar that kind of look your way, kind of squint, like why the fuck is he here? And then just kind of give you one of these and just keep walking. So I'm back. There is a point, Fee, where there is like one dark elf that absolutely doesn't notice you, but they are definitely the opposite side of your cultural thing than you are used to dealing with. Like from here all the way to the top of the head is shaved. This whole side is like neon like purple, and she's just like jiving and having a good time out the other way. there are several undead. A couple of ghouls, kind of like Juanita that you met before, that do kind of make eye contact with Yasana briefly. As you walk by, and Tatsu, you do get a... definitely, it's a dragonborn. Definitely has a tail. One of those big, wide hats. But you get a sense of not looking up. As you pass, you see red scales, but there's like white tattooing riding across up the side of his face in Draconic. You don't get the time to read the whole thing, but it's definitely something about honor and probably a lack thereof. But
I have no reason to bother them.
Would Yasana would have caught what it said?
that's can't be investigation because it would just be a random perception. So it'd definitely be a perception check if you want to try.
Sure.
11. It was just the DC 10. It's not really that hard. Like, it is definitely reads honorless.
Oh.
Which could be kind of like, sometimes the word is conflated and used again with like the idea of like a Ronin. But not in nice circles. Tatsu, you've heard about people like this. You've never seen someone in the yak before, but you just might have now.
Neat.
But you continue on. The rain's actually a little bit less in here just because there's so many goddamn cables, like Amazon vining over your heads. And you do find eventually this shop called Antiquity that is like, it's very much like, the city kind of goes between like being like modern and full-blown future cyberpunky, and then there's also these places that are like weirdly like almost like still like old style D&D, like old-timey, trying to feel classical. And this Antiquity place kind of has that vibe, and it's sort of ruined by the fact that it is on the other side of a street that has a building that is all a big like yellow video wall that's like showing some shitty advertisements, but like the street on the side of the shop is just kind of bathed in this light.
Builder, did you bring the scroll?
Yes, I have it right here.
Wonderful, thank you.
Okay.
Any ideas how we should approach? I suppose they asked for our help, right?
I think that's a fair assumption. We should be expected. They know what they got themselves into if the guild put our names up.
She will open the door to this place.
Okay. You walk
Hold
up.
it open for her companions.
Try the door.
Builder
It
will
does open.
push the door above you and kind of hold the door in your stead.
Canadian standoffs. It's adorable. Politeness competitions.
Oh no, after you. No, after you. Right this
5
way,
hours
friend.
later.
No, I insist.
Everybody goes in, I assume.
She is a lady. She inclines her head and walks in.
The interior of the shop is definitely
Spiders.
a little bit. Looks like
Ooh,
yeah,
pretty.
It
I feel
is
cozy looking at this picture.
definitely the sort of place that Yasana would instantly feel at home at.
Oh yeah.
Besides being on the spooky side, and with that fucking light from the video wall on the other side just blazing in, it looks like it's constantly sunrise here. Looking in, it's like a big, like, it's a wide area. Like, you would see, like, this guy, like, right here. That's, like, the front door. That's where you would come in at. So it's a deep shop. And as you walk in, there's immediately not anybody there, giving you, like, a half second to, like, look around or introduce yourself or do whatever you would after you walked into a place you're unfamiliar with.
The giant yellow video wall outside really gives this place an era of sunlight. That's kind of interesting. I wonder if that's intended.
You listen here, you little shit. I can only find so many pictures.
I know. That's why I have to poke at you.
Feel the pain. You know the pain.
I do.
How do I have a city, a cyberpunk city, that's constantly fucking night and constantly fucking raining, and then
I
also
thought that
have
was
this
a perfect.
place?
That was a perfect explanation as to
It
why
was
it looks
done
yellow.
beautifully.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
DM
I
problems,
think that's just
guys.
a testament to your skill.
DM problems. But yeah,
I just can't let you get away with being good at your job.
that's fair. That's absolutely
true.
fair. So you open the door and you see this shop with curios everywhere. There are definitely. Yasana physically feels a pull to a bunch of bookshelves that have very old books on it, kind of like you can physically feel yourself being pulled further into the shop because I know her.
Do I get any pings? Boop boop.
Perception check.
Nope.
You don't. You look around, it's an old shop.
Wow, cool store.
Is there a little bell?
You have to cross a length of the store to get it, past a bunch of curios and labeled items and things, but over on what appears to be a desk, it would be a front desk, which is in the back of the store. We don't know why they call them that. There's one. Yep.
Bing. Bing, bing, bing. Bing, 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 bing,
Enough.
bing, 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 bing.
You do hear like some noise upstairs, and behind the desk, it's unmanned, and there's what looks like a staircase that goes up a little bit and then turns to go further in a different direction, so it's kind of hidden. Builder with a 6 perception. You don't see it instantly, but I'm gonna say some of the others, especially Alton specifically, because you've been in situations like this before. You see coming from around the corner a shoulder, an arm, and a drawn bow. Just like peeking around the corner.
I say, hello, we're with the Adventurers Guild.
Bing.
You can put the bow down.
Oh, thank the gods. And he, like, you see that the bow is relaxed, and, you see, like, half of an arm, ending in claws, and you see, like, a little bit of a flick of a tail before you can see the whole creature's body. And you hear a voice go, it's alright, they're here. And stepping from around the corner is a tabaxi, which is a cat person that you've never. A lot of you haven't necessarily seen tabaxi in general. You have the general idea of what they are. You haven't seen one kind of dressed for, well, let's just say urban combat. But what looks like a tabaxi in the make of perhaps a lynx with braids and armor and weapons, comes down the stairs and says, "I'm very sorry. My name is Trax."
Hello.
You look awesome! I'm here for this.
Please tell me you say that out loud.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I do.
Never mind the halfling. Hello. It's we are from the Adventurers Guild. We were here about the theft.
Oh, I recognize you now. You're one of the new ones. And he takes the arrow that had been drawn in the bow and kind of like spins it around like it was a coin in his hand and like thunks it right back in his the quiver that is like just like hanging kind of haphazardly, like almost like gunslinger-esque on his back. He slings the bow back over his shoulder.
Incredible.
Our reputation precedes us.
Hey, it is the hot new thing this week. I'm sure that, well, we'll see if you have a chance to prove yourself, yes?
Yes, Trax. I pull out my AG badge just to give him the proof that we are who we say we are.
He does look. He kind of like leans over and like narrows his eyes and looks and gives a nod. And kind of leans back over his shoulder and goes, "Yeah, it's them." And you hear more steps on the stairs.
It seems like perhaps you've had more trouble than just a few items going missing.
And you hear a voice coming from the steps saying, "Oh yes, we've had plenty of problems." And as soon as of course, but as I click buttons and do things, from around the corner comes a lady, dark hair, dressed in all black. Looks like kind of like a corset thing going on, but she's got like a robe over top of it. Horns spiraling back. A lot of ear piercings.
I spelled that name right.
The game of spelling NPCs' names correctly. Yes, we've had more than a few problems. Thank you for coming.
So, what happened?
This might be a thing. There are some old bar stools around. I'll Trax, please. And in kind of a like lopsided grin manner, this tabaxi kind of like goes and helps this lady with pulling over enough seating things for everyone to like sit around this desk. She turns the open sign off and locks the door back up. She moves back behind the desk and does, if there were any questions after I dropped the handouts, like, "Yes, I'm Delilah, and yes, I called you all here." And anyone who's paying any form of attention at all, no rolls needed, sees that Trax kind of like casually leans against one of the walls, but is like watching the windows back from the direction you guys came.
Seems like there's more to this job than what information was given. If you've got tracks, watching so carefully.
Well, it's a bit of a. We've had problems since we got here, and it's been a lot. Can I get you anything? Can I get you water? It's the least I can do.
I would love some water. Thank you.
Just the facts, man.
At the same time as Alton says yes, he goes, no, we're fine. No need to put yourself out for us.
We're here to do a job. We're professionals, despite maybe certain appearances. But we're here to help you with the job that you've hired us to do. Please don't feel any need to treat us any differently than that.
I apologize. It's my first time dealing with the guild. Well, I suppose I should lay it all out then. And that's probably where we're going to take our break, because if we waited if we did this at a different time, there'd be some dissonance going on. We all went to actually get drinks and stuff. So, yeah, we're going to be back right after the break. I'm going to get some more water and stuff, and we'll figure out what this mission's going to be. So, yeah, we will see you guys
In a bit.
very soon.
Fuck.
Your second mistake was trusting me not to say something stupid on the internet. Stupid!
Well, yep. That's how we came back. And we're
That's
lagging.
all I got is stupid.
Of course it broke it. Of course it broke it. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. So, after my shit eventually catches up, there we are. Haha. Okay, so we're back. We're ready to roll, and you guys are about to get a quest. So, as I pull up my notes, she kind of leans on the desk, Delilah. And like kind of absently minded, like she's got a real big, like thick, like black braid going over one shoulder, and she's like messing with the end of it. And without even needing a perception check, you can kind of see that like the end of that braid is like split ends to hell. Like it's something that she's been doing when she's nervous, because you can see in her face that she's nervous now, and she's been nervous a lot. When we came here, we planned on just making a nice shop. It's in the biggest city in the system. There's me and my husband, and well, let's just say we weren't very well received here. There was a few instances of one of the local gangs in the territory knocking on our door and asking for protection money, which we politely declined, and well, she takes a minute. She's having a hard time. About 2 days ago, they kicked in our front door and stole 2 very precious things to me.
And you're sure it was this gang?
I was here. She kind of pulls her shawl off a little bit, and you see like burn marks on one of her arms. One of the things they stole was my husband's life. The other, she pulls her shawl back on, was some of his, his sentimental objects. They're just talismans and knickknacks. We always sold a few magical knickknacks here and there, and we had one that was really special to us, and I would very much like that back. And you see a little bit of a change go. The change starts from reliving it in sadness and like you can't like you don't know exactly how it happened, but you can tell that behind her eyes she's seeing it happen again. And then after she gets to the present, the sadness kind of fades, and it is replaced by a terrifying, slow-burning anger. I would very much like that item returned.
And the gang?
I would like you to make them suffer greatly.
What was
I
this?
guarantee you, ma'am,
Your husband will be avenged.
What was this item that was taken from you?
She kind of looks from Tatsu to Yasana. There's a little moment of Yasana. You're kind of used to like people like looking at you and then going, "Huh," at least because you look very different than a lot of the others.
Mm-hmm.
And something about you, kind of, even just being you. You have a like. You have a very librarian vibe about you, and or at least an occulty vibe to you, just in your presentation, and something about that definitely peels back a layer of distrust. She says, the item itself is locked in a box about this long, about this wide. It has a DNA scanner on it, so I don't think these fucks can open it. But it has a necklace inside. And it's very important to me. It has a little bit of an anti-magic shield around it just for preservation purposes. It's a long story, doesn't matter. I want that back. I need that back more than anything.
I can understand the value of a sentimental object. Is there anything else that you can tell us to help us retrieve this?
She looks from Thea back to like Yasana and just like takes a minute and like kind of like leans an elbow on the desk and like puts a like holds her head like this and just kind of waves a little bit over to the tabaxi, and Drax actually like sees what's happening, nods a little bit, and like it's not really, it's hard for him to not swagger because of this guy, but he seems to be moving over respectfully, and he kind of picks up where she left off, and is a gang around these parts called the Death's Head. They like skulls. They have a motif to them. I've lived in this place and have been doing security for this building for a little while. I've run into them in the past, and they're not the nicest sort, or the most welcoming to certain types. Let's just say.
What types would those be?
He looks at you for a second and then kind of looks back at Delilah like he's asking for permission. And she's like kind of like zoning out and not really paying attention. And Trax just kind of takes that as an answer itself. Those specific types.
You happen to know anything about where they're hold up in?
Two things. First off, Fee specifically. Since you asked the question, give me an insight check. Pretty low.
Ouch.
Nope.
I do have a question.
Okay.
Fee has some contacts in not perhaps not this area specifically, but in areas that may be helpful here. Does that come in at all here? Do I know anything about these people, this gang? Could I find out?
So, how that specifically works is if they were something that would be in your purview, like that area, you would have a skinny on them, and you don't. So they are outside of your purview. But to answer your question about how would you find out, right here, this meeting with people, talking with people, this would be how you would find out. So it is literally happening in this moment. If you didn't know, like, basically, that if you need to find out about something and you don't have a contact, like, right here, you know, basically, you could just wander around and find the right bar to find the right information. For future reference. Here, you got the situation in handle, but for future reference, you can just do that.
Cool.
Haran, what was your question again?
Do you happen to know where this gang is located about?
Their hideout? Yeah, no, right where it's at. I think I know right where they're at. Now, probably. Too many people for me to try and sneak in myself. But it's an old let's say it's a scrapper's garage. They say if you need a speeder really fast, you can make one happen.
It's a fence. Okay.
2 questions here. One, so you're saying they're running a chop shop.
Yes,
Two,
that's the word, right. Common, sorry.
How would you know exactly where they're at?
This is my town. That's how I know.
And they just don't hide themselves very well then.
Do they have any sort of local protection, like, say, from the CCP?
Tracking is what I do.
Okay.
That is my name. As for you, you are a very large middleman.
Thank you.
No, they do not have
no affiliations that you are aware of?
They are their own entity that is partially somewhere between a local enforcement gang and some kind of political movement that I don't want to get into.
Is there anyone backing them, like, that is more powerful that we should know about?
As far as I know, they're their own thing.
And do you happen to know who it was that came here specifically?
Specifically?
A gang is a large group of people, and finding a necklace amongst them may be easier if we know who took it.
Honestly, I couldn't give you a name. I don't actually even know the name of the leader. They're kind of one of those. They have a thing with masks. They've got like skull things they wear over their faces. They're mostly human. I can tell you that.
Madam Gorse,
She's kind of shakes to attention a little bit.
I don't want to make you recall the unpleasant memories that you have attached, but if there's any identifying characteristics that you could give us that would help us find your husband's murderer, they would be very beneficial. Any tattoos, scars, anything that we might use to identify this specific person in particular.
She starts.
He offers a handout to her, just like a touch of comfort.
She kind of nods a little bit. He cast a spell at the attacker. He will probably be burned here. That'll be the one.
Do you have any special requests for that one?
And as a note, Builder will get low, close to Madame Gorse, and further say,
anything that you want to happen to this individual that maybe would be below the guild's threshold.
Haran will walk over to the other side of the room.
Okay, cool. Just for reference, you doing anything over there? You just like looking around, trying to really?
Oh yeah, no. Oh, look at these
Yeah.
interesting things
Give me,
that I don't have to hear.
While we have this conversation, give me a perception check that I will look at later.
Okay.
In her sadness, she clearly is a little lost. But when you kind of flip the switch a little bit to her going back to anger, she finds cool. She finds a little bit of focus, and she meets her gaze dead on and says, "Officially and unofficially, I need that item back, and I am willing to give you all of the money I have in the world for it. Unofficially, make it hurt."
That we can do.
And she kind of takes a breath and leans back. And I think Trax can help the rest of that. If you need anything shop related, or let me know. And she stands up and kind of like walks around behind some boxes and stuff. There's a big long table that is like floor to top of it wood, long, and she just kind of leans on it, trying to compose herself a little bit, and then like reaches over and like tries to go through some papers. Trax kind of just like eyeballs all of you.
Oh, Drax. Perhaps you can take half of our group and sneak in, while the other half enters in a more direct manner.
You would have a split to face an entire criminal group.
I think that a distraction would be not unwise if some of you would like a more stealthy approach to find Lady Gorse's prized possession. I feel that that's probably the priority here.
Can create a distraction without
putting you at the front of it.
Yes, but I want to kill a few of them.
We don't need Trax to go with us, because he needs to be here to protect Lady Gorse in case any of them decide to show up while we're gone.
Well, don't worry, I will be going with you.
The problem that I foresee is that This perceived retaliation is only going to create more issues for the shop and for these people. We either eliminate the entirety of this gang to where they don't ever want to come back and risk it, or there's going to be another problem. It's only a matter of time.
I agree. They need to be removed.
Now,
Set an example for gangs around here too. That
there are more than one way to do that. We don't have to kill everyone. We can do that in a different manner. There are semblances of law enforcement here. If we give them enough of a reason to take interest in this group, they may not have time to interfere with these people's lives.
So, Yasana, did you have something?
Also, if we get rid of one gang, what's to say another more terrible group will move in to take its place, expand their territory?
That's also a very valid point. Power abhors a vacuum.
Yes.
If reporting them to the police did anything, they wouldn't exist in the first place.
Trax actually speaks up at that point. He kind of actually like gestures for you all to move towards like the front of the store where Haran is, which by the way, motherfucker rolled a 20.
He sees everything.
There's a couple magic items in here, for sure. There's a little out of the way section that is actually like labeled as little. There's like little magic items behind glass. One of them looks like it's like a little orb. There's a little like a smoking pipe. There looks like there's a tankard with like a stern face on the front of it. It looks like there's a little wand, and there is one little creepy fucking doll. They're all behind glass.
Don't touch the doll.
It's so cute and fluffy.
Ma'am?
She looks up.
What are these?
Does anybody listen to Jonathan Colton? Jesus.
Yes and no.
She looks up. We do sell a few magical odds and ends. It's less of an apothecary store these days and more of a hero store. And as you kind of look around, it looks like this weird little blend of like where there are like herbs and things about. It's mostly like, it kind of feels like a magic shop that you'd walk into. Like there's like incense and books and stuff. But we have a few things, yes.
You know what they are or what they do?
Oh, yes. Are you interested in making a purchase before?
Well, I'm interested if they would benefit one of us, then yes. But I don't know.
She gets up and like looks down at them briefly, like standing next to you. This close. Haran, you're really bad at reading people.
Yeah, 100%.
But there's like a little bit of makeup running, so she's having a bad time.
Yeah.
But she like very casually like starts pointing and just like casually like orb of direction, pipe of smoke monsters, talking doll, tank of sobriety, wand of pyrotechnics, probably not for an actual. These are more.
Maybe.
We wanted it to be fun.
Hey, Fee. I think I found a magical item for Alton.
Is that so?
Tell you what, you do this, you can have it.
Oh, fantastic.
I don't even care.
What does the tankard of sobriety do?
She turns and
he will touch her arm. Well, not the burnt one, the other one.
okay. Yep.
every I know it sounds like platitudes, but every loss allows you to learn something. I don't know what this will do, but your life is not over. There is always a next thing. Live on for the people who care and love you.
At this moment, she says. And there's like this little sad kind smile there. I am living for someone. And I hope it works out the way that I want it to. She kind of nods and then goes back to the long table and just kind of leans on it.
That was remarkably insightful for you.
Revenge is not a thing to live for.
I don't think it's revenge that she's living for. But she needs closure.
Can I make an insight check?
On her?
Yeah.
You can certainly try, buddy.
No.
You think you've ever been pretty
suck
spot
at
on.
reading people.
Oh no, Haran is actually really good at reading people. He just doesn't know how to deal with emotions.
What'd you actually roll? Oh, yeah, he's got like a +5 to it.
Yeah.
You rolled a...
I rolled a terrible roll, but
you
yeah.
rolled like a 3.
Yeah.
Oh, it was 2.
I know the look. I think she's living for revenge at this point. Hopefully she can move past it after it's done.
In
DM.
my
Okay, let's do this in order. So,
Matt.
okay, Matt, go first.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say I've seen Revenge. Builder has seen Revenge. Do I get the sense that that's what she's wanting?
I'm gonna ask another inside check of you. While I ask Sophie, what were you gonna say?
Got the same.
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
don't fucking know.
Tieflings. You haven't dealt with many tieflings.
in my experience, revenge in these types of situation is a balm that creates space for real healing. It is quite hard to recover from this sort of thing, knowing there have been no repercussions.
Oh, sure. Yasana.
Yasana.
Yeah, sure. The woman with 3 eyes can see things.
Ah, she can. Yasana.
Also see through bullshit.
For some reason, you're kind like reading people isn't necessarily your particular forte. You're more information focused. You're more
In a sense, I've kind of been in her shoes.
you have, and just being in this place kind of puts you in your element, and you kind of identify with her in a little more than you thought you might. In this place of books and learning and old things and stuff that completely is like absolutely your jam. You not only, a couple of things happen here only in your head. Not only do you get the sense of, with her and her intentions, there's a little more going on than you know. She's holding a little bit of something back that doesn't feel antagonistic. She's keeping a little bit of information back a bit. But as you look at her, and like try and feel that pain and try and feel what she's feeling, the back of your head gets this little cold, tingly feeling. And just in your head that nobody else can hear.
This is what I spoke of. This is where you can do good.
It's
This is where you can make sure that what happened to you will not happen once again.
Yasana doesn't react. She just kind of looks at the woman for a moment and then turns away. Look around.
Oh boy. Oh boy. My chat went weird.
That is what good macaroni sounds like, ladies and gentlemen.
No. No.
Do I get a ping?
Perception check. Gotta be high.
Ooh!
You get low level ping from Yasana's direction.
Yeah, I do.
Like,
Yes, I do.
so if this was like, what I'm gonna do with this is I'm basically gonna treat this because I think it's fun, like a Dragon Ball Z Scouter, right? You get a detection thing that pops up, but you basically get a threat level like 0.
Okay.
And then it's gone. It literally took the span of like 3 seconds and then it's gone.
Okay. Similar to other instances with.
Exactly as such. You
Okay.
get a sense that when she's got some stuff going on, like it kind of went off a little bit when she was casting spells. You get basically a ping in her direction with the threat level that is usually on the low side, except when she's casting offensive spells. Those are relative to what she's doing.
Right.
I've decided that power levels are basically going to count as monster experience at this point because that's fun and gives fun numbers, and because you're also a DM and I know you'll just be able to math that shit out.
As they're all mulling about, Tatsumusa would walk back towards her at the table.
Okay.
And he kind of crouched down low so he's eye to eye with her.
Over this table. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I too know your pain. The pain of a loved one taken for base hatred.
That gets her
And no
attention.
matter what they decide, I will see these monsters burn.
Because he's projecting just fucking hard as hell.
At first, she's not really sure what to make of it, but about the last third of Tatsu's speech, her face hardens into fucking granite with horns in spite, and says, "Good." And just kind of nods, and then tries to break eye contact for a second, doesn't really pull it off, and then goes back to looking over. It looks like it's useless papers of just bookkeeping and like probably something she doesn't have to do, but she's doing it to keep her head straight.
If we have what we need, I think we should go. Did they attack with fire?
No, they attacked with shitty guns.
Quite. Well,
They're humans
simply...
with guns. That's their fucking thing.
Perfect. Then I will not worry about finding us fire protection. If the rest of you are prepared?
Hold on. Where was the site of the attack? Tracks.
He looks at you and looks down. And as you, look down, I'll even spare you the investigation check because he's tipping you off to it. You don't have to roll. You see scuffs on the floor where tables had been flipped over and then had since been rewrited and kind of fixed back up. You see, because you're Alton Goodbarrel and you've seen a thing or two, you see some physical shell casings that they might have missed in the cleanup. And at one point, right near the front door, there is against the wall. So there's the front door, there's the side where the handle is, and right next to that on the wall, a singe mark, right about head level, where her husband apparently cast some kind of singe-related spell at somebody's face.
Mr. Dust,
Yeah.
do you have an accurate number of how many of these gang members there are?
Roughly. These are one of those groups that are, we call them a very loud minority. I wouldn't say there's a grand total of 20 entirely.
Are they well respected in this area?
No numbers like that.
Honestly, they're kind of a dying breed. You know what? Let's speak this way. And he attempts to usher you guys out of the establishment. Back
He gives
right
you
out
trouble.
onto the street. Does everybody go, or is there resistance? How does it go?
He gives no resistance.
Yeah, we'll go.
Okay. So he steps back out on the street again, leaving Delilah in there. Making sure my shit is working. It's not. There it goes. Sound on Roll20. He leads you all out on the street into the bright sunlight of this fucking video wall on the other side of the street, and after the door is shut, alright, these sons of bitches are just racist. Right? That's the thing. It's pretty much a human-only movement. And he looks right at fucking Yasana. That fucking hate the Aox. Period. They speak very loudly that the dead should stay in the ground.
Well, I guess my presence will pose a problem then.
Fitting.
Was that agreement?
What?
Fitting that they hate dead people? That her presence will pose a problem? I'm just trying to figure out if Tatsu was agreeing.
It's fitting that they hate dead people, and yet one will be instrumental in ending them.
I believe the word you meant was ironic.
A much better choice. I am glad to hear that.
The semantics.
Poetic justice.
How do you want to do this? I can take you right to their ship.
That's where I want to go.
Yes.
We
Well,
need some intel first before we
That's
just.
what we've been doing this entire time. We have numbers, we have location.
We walk and talk.
We
And it gets you guys moving as you speak, not cutting you off, but walking and talking.
we have someone who can sneak at least some of us in. Dare I say a plan is forming?
Oh, we need
I-
someone as a lookout to cover.
I still do not believe that splitting up is a good choice. Distraction is one thing, splitting apart is another entirely.
Not splitting. Simply a pincer maneuver.
Dust, how large would you say their chop shop is?
You could fit a couple of cars in there. It's not big. I would say it is a small-sized warehouse. It is, ironically, you see, like, 3 blocks that way, you see the sign that says, the neon sign that says coffee. It's right under that.
Do they have anything explosive that could make a big distraction?
I mean,
Outside.
if there are vehicles. Why are you okay? Is that like a like you have coughing problem?
No, but I believe Alton is forgetting one crucial thing that I possess.
I thought you put that in safekeeping.
And then I take it out and jump.
I think you're both forgetting one crucial thing, and that is that these are not the only people in the area, and casualties and collateral damage are not acceptable.
As a point, the warehouse
indeed.
is right next to a street. If that
Builder,
matters to you.
I will not do anything that will cause extraneous harm.
I believe that you won't. You, on the other hand, I'm not 100% sold on.
Please tell me this place is surrounded by walls that would prevent any explosions that may or may not occur from getting out into the street.
I mean, no. It's next to the street.
Wonderful. Well, that goes that idea for an initial distraction.
You can have an explosion without the devastation.
As this is all going on, Faye's kind of pondering. This is a chop shop at the small warehouse. Is that correct?
It is correct.
She will turn to the others. Or I perhaps just speak up as they walk. If you insist on said pincher techniques here, then perhaps we can cut their lights. I can share dark vision with a few of us, and the others can come in with lights that would make you primary targets, and the rest of us quite a bit more sneaky, regardless of our actual ability to be stealthy, as it were.
I've heard
We
worse
take out their
plans.
lights, we give them a glowing target, and we strike the fear of the gods instead.
Where were you when I needed to rob a museum? Jeez. Any kind of winks
keep
at
in
you?
mind.
I believe I could arrange that to be the case.
Heron, do you have any spotlights on you?
I have a flashlight.
No.
I would like
I
to
have-
propose an idea.
Indeed.
With one other. We, myself, and whomever volunteers enter in under the guise that I am their automaton, and we are in search of some new type of speeder. With that distraction underway, we can gather the numbers present at this location while the second group cuts the lights or prepares to do so on a signal and or sneaks into the back.
How deep does their racism run?
Yeah, that seems like none of us can pass for a
I'll
human.
volunteer for the second group.
I am happy to let them think they are one-upping me. You know, they're far superior intellect. I'm sure they could swindle a better deal out of a poor drow.
I plan on entering from the front anyway.
I mean, people like to
That is
take
not how
advantage of
fighting
nice people all the times.
That is unfortunately true, Yasana.
Would you say that you're a very nice person?
Quite so.
It keeps coming back around.
I got it. I got it.
Is that the plan we're going with then?
I can enter with Builder if that is acceptable. As I said, I don't mind playing a part.
That is fun. Builder. Haran will take out Kilowatt, and can I put him on you? That's like on the back. Cool.
Yes.
Because I can cast through him.
That's very useful. Can you make me the light?
I can make you a
me a
light.
beacon?
I can indeed.
I need dark vision as well to be effective, but I'm happy to be the target.
This is the fun part of the D&D game where the party realizes, oh shit, some of us don't have dark vision and some of us do. It's the eternal struggle.
I need to get some goggles. But I'm happy to play both parts of target and shield, as per usual.
With Kilowatt there, I can perhaps help.
I would suggest actually that Kilowatt enter into one of my compartments. I wouldn't want them to be damaged. If that's acceptable to them. I wouldn't want them to feel.
So, just to put things in perspective, the image that we used for Kilowatt looks like it's a big old floating trash can sized thing. Kilowatt, as per rules, is considered like a tiny size
it's very small.
construct. It's like if we compared it to like a fairy from like Zelda. If y'all watch Kenobi, it'd be kind of similar to Lola, like that small.
That's how I was picturing it.
Yeah. So like,
or
CD
or
player.
If you've seen the movie Batteries Not Included, that's literally where it's from.
That's fair.
It is one of the babies.
Gotcha. I have not seen that movie, and now I apparently need to.
It is very good. I like it.
It's a classic.
Trax kind of just looks over at everybody like, we are not terribly far off. Where do you want me in this? There's no way I'm not helping.
I'm going to shut down the light system.
Oh, granted.
That shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah.
Tatsumasa, I know that you feel this need to enter in through the front, but I think that it might be beneficial for the sneaky group to have some sort of protection if you'd be willing. I can't be there for everyone, unfortunately. And I'll draw attention as much as I can, but it's also possible that they could get into a spot and your scales are pretty hard.
If that is where I am needed.
I hate to throw a wrench in the plan, but Builder, I know you said that you could be our guiding light, as it were, but within my abilities, the best I can do as far as a consistent light is either myself or a single target, but I would not risk making you said target because it tends to hurt significantly.
In what way?
Radiantly.
You see this moment where Builder kind of looks down, and then he looks at Haran.
Can you make me shiny like one of your screws?
Wait a minute, is this a real thing?
Haran will then pull out a screw that the light.
You adventuring types are weird. You know that, right?
Oh, we're well aware.
I don't know
light.
that it would be beneficial to go in that way. Is it possible for you to add that effect to me later? And more importantly, can you remove it?
No.
Just for the rest of the game,
Just
He's glowing dark.
Could I do it? Yes, but it is a permanent effect.
it's a good thing you asked first, because that could have been hilarious.
but he truly would have a shiny glass.
Do you still have advantage? Do you still have advantage? Because if you don't, you do now.
And this is the second time you've given me advantage, and I've already had advantage.
Start using it. Use it more often.
How painful is your radiant light?
Oh wait, do you mean advantage or inspiration?
Inspiration. DM inspiration.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Wait, I could give you some of my bolts if that would help you, but
4d6?
It's glowing bolts and duct tape.
If it I suppose if it came down to it, I could if she will take just a minute to kind of think. The spell before the lights before. I could cast that continuously to try and keep you alight. But perhaps it would be again easier if I were the light and you simply didn't let me die.
Well, letting you die is certainly not plan A.
It is entirely possible to create a glow upon one of our enemies, but again, otherwise, I would not risk doing so to you. I'm gonna go ahead and just like print this out for y'all so you can see.
Alright.
Builder will
Yep.
take a minute, and Builder will pull off his cloak, and he'll hand it to Haran.
D6.
And as Builder hands Haran the cloak, they'll say,
Make this the light. I'll keep it hidden until we need it. And then they'll look at me, and only me.
I can't make that the light.
You can't make it like one of the bolts.
It is too big. I can't imbue it with enough magical energy to light it permanently.
Just like give him like a you got any like wire or something? Just like string him up like it's Yule lights.
I can if you want the bolts, I can give you the bolts I have and we can fashion something that will make you glow.
I'll take the bolts.
Okay. That's fine.
So while they're all trying to figure this out,
If you want, I can also give you a button that will say, "Hey, look over here."
Kind of a neon.
That sounds
Look over here, stupid!
That could be beneficial as well. I'm not disregarding that. But I think I could probably shove these bolts into my cloak so that there are speckles of starlight throughout it. Maybe that'll be enough of an attention grabber.
I can
Don't.
I can do more than that if you want. I can make a sign that says "Shoot me first."
Builder,
That might be
I
a
can
little
attract
orthodox.
attention without directing it on myself or you.
I worry that if you're the one that's attracting the attention, there's no way that I can jump in between you if an attack is made at you.
I want to pause right now just because of all the conversation you're having. I just had an image of Builder, what, like 10-foot tall Builder in like a regular like human T-shirt. It says like "Hit the barbarian first," just on it, in no other clothes. Sorry, please continue.
Literally,
I'm just watching Builder and Fee both be like, "No, I'm the martyr. No, I am."
I'm just trying to help whoever wants. I can make you a sign that glows if that's what you want. I just can't imbue your cloak with this too.
To what end do we need glowing? It is a distraction, is it not? So if we were to go in, Builder and I, under this guise of my automaton that I am looking to get rid of, then could we not make our glowing target our gentleman with the burns?
That's not a terrible idea. I like that idea as well, especially if your way of making them a target hurts. I just also want them to see me and know that I'm there to be hit instead of you.
I can cast light upon you, but only for a minute. It will definitely draw their attention to you.
DM, I have a quick question.
Hit me.
Because we've kind of played loosey-goosey with certain aspects of Builder for reasons. Can I maybe absorb or attach those bolts to me using my wonkiness?
So,
like,
that's technically actually not wonkiness. By rules of the Warforged that we are using for this, they are capable of absorbing armor to themselves and integrate it so that it takes actually longer to take them off and take them, like, don and off armor, essentially. It becomes part of them. So if you wanted to get, like, a string of, like, Christmas lights around you, like Venom in the new movie, be like, I love these people! Weirdos! Which is what I was envisioning in my head. Yes, you could absorb them into... Are you talking about, like, I'm going to suck them into me, and then when I want them to pop out, they pop out?
No. My thought was, like, absorb them onto me so that they're shining, then cover them with the cloak, and then when shit hits the fan, cloak comes off, I become a shiny beacon of little speckles of light.
So, what this would do, mechanically, is... the area that you are in would just generate light in the darkness. Hey! Follows, yay! Mechanically, what you would be doing is that, if you were covering those things with a cloak, it's fine, it would stop showing them. And when you would thread back, you would basically be emanating the exact effect that Haran can do. If you want to link that in the chat so that they know what exactly will be happening, basically you'd be emitting, like, what is it, 5-10 feet of light? That's what it would be doing.
Okay, so you
would basically be functioning as a torch in D&D.
Okay, so then if Haran has been offering this bag of bolts, seems derogatory, then I will take them and begin doing that and seeing if they attach, and then if they do, like we've described, then I'll use all of them to cover my body, and then cover it with my cloak, and say then Builder will say,
I think we're ready at this point.
Oh, this is very good because we are very close to being there.
I simply have one more question for you, Builder. What is our story?
Cover stories are important.
Either you're looking for a speeder and I'm just here as your assistant, or you can be selling me. I'm fine with either way. In fact, if you're selling me, you might get the head of the guild out here, or the group, and it might be the man with the scar that we're looking for, so that might be a more plausible story for you.
Okay.
Or if the deal doesn't go their way, they'll just try and kill her and take you anyways.
Either way, I think it'll work out.
I agree. Who else? Builder will need dark vision. Who else?
Do you want me with you? I can go with you.
Yes, of course. I assumed you would.
Well, I could be the one that showed you here, yes?
Wouldn't they recognize you as the bodyguard?
I was not serving at the store that day. I was hired after the fact.
As long as it won't create any more problems for Adam Gors.
I too will need dark vision.
So, I rolled the stealth check to try and sneak away while everyone was debating the plan.
Okay, so
You dumbass motherfucker.
you
Okay, can I roll a perception to see if he...
We all have passive perceptions above 12.
Yes.
So that basically happened, but all it really results in is you and Trax getting there a little bit ahead. Still not really easy to do, especially on, well, you know what? Let's make this really easy, shall we? If my lighting works, I'm gonna have to adjust this on the stream, but you come up too. Probably gonna have to zoom out.
Very much.
Down to 50%. You guys are on a street. I have to adjust some things too. And you are next to a square warehouse. The reason things look like they do is because there is dynamic lighting, and you can't see around or necessarily inside.
Oh yes, a square house.
It's a square building. And as you walk up, since it's kind of hard to see on the map, on this side, you see this outcropping right here that I'm clicking on. That looks like a regular, that looks like a door, one of the electronic varieties. And this slightly different wall right here is one of those garage doors that like rolls up.
Builder, if you would stay slightly behind me at the beginning as the
I'm the servant. I know how to serve. Thank you.
If you guys will give me, before you run in, give me a chance to find the electrical.
I would actually have suggested before we got this close, probably, that we kind of split off a little bit.
Okay.
That way, like if there are security cameras or other means of surveillance, that we're not
arriving at the group and then splitting
We're
up.
not all at the group. Yeah, exactly that.
And I'm going to put the little dude out in the road, but I'm going to say Kilowatt here, who I'm just placing out here just for funsies, is attached to Builder right now.
Yep.
Guess that's where he's at.
Can I make a perception check to see if I spot any like security cameras or anything?
You absolutely can. You see a lot of stuff. So on the outside, there looks like there isn't really that kind of security cameras. You do actually spot like a direct like security camera, but with a nat 20, which results in a 23, you actually see box of security camera, cable that's supposed to go into the back of the camera, hanging loose. Disabled. You just like spot that. That's definitely thief's eye right there.
That camera's disabled.
You see around things that you can see from here, kind of junk, dumpsters, trash can. This looks like another dumpster. Actually, no, this is like a parked truck, like a box truck. Underneath the coffee thing. Overhead, there are like a lot of wires around, and you do see what looks like probably power cables heading downwards on the opposite side of the building, which is probably like off in this direction past what you can see. You can't see it itself, but it looks like in this direction that I'm pinging over here, it looks like the power that you guys are talking about cutting is probably over there.
Fee will, of course, give
Good.
the dark vision to Builder and Tatsu, and then she'll look at the others. I can share this with one more.
You might need it.
All right. And she will share that way as well. And after doing so, she'll turn to the others, again, assuming we're still not quite in sight of the building, up and top, as it were.
And you can approach as needed.
There will be plenty of light once we get started.
As another note, when the group kind of splits into the two and Builder takes the servant kind of role of Fee's automaton, they'll begin walking in a very mechanical. Builder walks normally, very naturally. It's not weird or mechanical in any way. As soon as we kind of split and take up this facade, Builder will begin walking like an automaton would walk, very
clunky,
regulated and clunky and mechanical. Yeah.
Everybody gets to see, like, Builder is a little different than he's playing it.
And Trax is going to make the introduction, I believe.
Absolutely. I can do whatever you need. I haven't done business with this new human thing yet. My work is known around here.
Wonderful. I believe that I am looking for a very nice car in exchange for this rather clunky automaton.
Of course you
are. With that, Fee will motion to Track that she is ready to make their entrance and let the others do what they may.
Okay. So, before we get into this, we're going to start moving people around on the field here. You can move your tokens around wherever you're going to try and go. So, let's just say that's Team A, which is Trax, Fee, and Builder. Team B, trying to go around the back to cut the power, right? That's the plan? Right.
Where did you say those power cables were?
So it's on this side of the building, on this part that I'm pinging.
Okay.
So you guys can just start scrolling past and
I can't
moving your
grab my
tokens.
guy.
You can do not move your tokens.
No.
Fuckers.
Oh, click
I
on.
can't.
If you click in the bar on the side and you like the top arrow, you hit select.
Okay, no, I got it. Yeah.
Got it? You can move?
Right. Yep.
Okay. So, once you get over to this area, which is just for fun's sake, best viewed this map. Zoom your maps out to about 50% just so you keep your sanity. It's a little ways out, and there's a lot of cool details on this map, but zoom out to about 50%. When you look around there, Huron, clear as day. Right there, fuse box. That's it.
Okay. And here we go.
Okay. And while they're going, Trax is moving up towards the door, kind of looking and waiting. The door
Is there a back
here.
door into this place?
There is, actually. You see that there is literally a door right here.
Fantastic.
The
We're gonna
back
go in the back door. Yeah.
Okay. So moving up here.
For a reason.
And this door is literally this thing here.
Fee will send a secondary message to Huron here. The first, of course, having been her contact info. So he can let her know when he's found the lights. She will say, just simply, you know, we're going in, let me know when you're ready, and I'll tell you when to hit the light.
He will message back. There's a back door, so we'll come in through there.
Okay. So, what I'll have you do, Haran, to accomplish what you want to accomplish, let's just make it real easy. I'll have you make your check now with your tools that you would use to do this. And we'll say you're making the roll now, but you're holding your action to do it. So it goes off right when you want it to. But you're doing your pre-prep right now because this conversation is about to start. So let's go ahead and make yourself a roll.
I also want to set up, instead of just cut it, I want to set up a switch on it.
Ooh,
so I can trigger it on and off if I need to.
Okay.
I'm not just going to cut it.
Okay.
That's a great idea. Fee's in trouble. This feels like danger.
Danger. Fantastic. Okay.
What do you want me to roll?
So, what tool proficiencies you got on you right now, man?
Miss tools, Thieves tools. I'm good.
Thieves tools would probably work fine here.
Okay.
That's pretty good. It's going to take you a second. You get to work on it. But you crack that fuse box open, you're like, I've done this 3 times. This is probably fine. So, Trax kind of like looks over at you, gives you kind of like a... He's got this like roguish, like, he knows he's hot. He's like Han Solo, give the lopsided grin. It's very different than Alton's kind of like roguish nature, but he's got his own spin on it. He just looks at you and goes, "You ready?"
Absolutely.
And he leans in, and next to you, clunk, 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 knocks on the door. There's a moment of quiet, and he goes, clunk, 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 clunk. And then there's movement behind. And the door, if it will let me do it, a dynamic lighting layer here, opens. And within, you can see several, and feel free to zoom in if you want to on these guys because their tokens are representative of what they are. Hoods, masks with skulls painted on it. They definitely have like a black and blue gang color thing going on here. If you play the Cyberpunk game, you've seen these fucks before, but one of them moves up and like stands at the entrance to the door, kind of blocking the way in, and looks between both of you and goes, "Can I help you?"
I heard that perhaps this is a place to find a new car of a certain nature.
And then things start happening. The guy narrows his eyes a little bit, goes, cars, and like glances over to Trax. And Trax kind of shrugs and goes, yeah, it was the best that I had. Fee, does a 23 hit you?
Yes, the 23 hits me.
What a dick.
As Trax turns to the side and says, had to get you there somehow, and stabs you in the stomach with a fucking knife.
Well.
And that is the point where we're going to roll initiative next time.
I hate it here.
I've already selected my rage.
Oh, people are gonna die.
Oh yeah.
I have.
Oh yeah.
Listen, how could you do this to us? I want to annihilate these people.
The signs were there.
You stabbed me. He stabbed me. You stabbed me.
So, so we're getting a little basically close to the end of where we would normally end this episode to start combat. So we're gonna just get into straight up fucking combat next week after a week's worth of rage, betrayal, and
I don't think I can wait that long.
Cause you did nothing. Cause you're just innocent of this crime.
Don't worry, Matt. There's plenty of bullshit coming up Thursday.
There's gonna be some bullshit coming up Friday too.
I've just been threatened because I'm a player in his game. So that's tonight's D&D Galactic. This is episode 3, the first gig. The first gig is going real well. Who we raiding? But before we get into
The
raiding,
fucking Chop Shop is who we're raiding.
I have
Before we get
actual
into-
rage.
Before we get into that, seriously, everybody who is watching out there, thank you for watching our goofy-ass D&D game set in sci-fi cyberpunk. Thank you for being here. We love the shit out of you. John, new guy,
things.
welcome.
The two things. One,
Okay.
yeah. Love you guys. Thanks for watching us. 2, I'm a murder you, Ray Talk.
It's all like, oh, Tatsmusa, you're getting too angry. Oh, Tatsmusa, you're taking this too personally. Oh, no. And then Fee gets stabbed, and all of a sudden, wait a minute. Laser eyes indeed.
Okay. Always done. But, yeah, so... Oh, yeah, She's beating me with the cat.
You deserve it.
Beat him harder.
More claws, less toe beans.
That's fine. That's fine. But yeah. So there's maybe a twist or two in this game. He's literally steaming. He's so pissed.